President Trump is set to leave the White House in about 20 minutes to campaign in Mississippi today. This for Republican Senate candidate Cindy Hyde-Smith. She's facing a runoff election there. Now, he's reaching out to voters who consistently turn him down, more recently, right, who have been turning to him, rather. We're talking middle class, lower income Americans who, let's be quite frank, they have been left out for a very long time. Now there's a lot of evidence they are finally starting to get a piece of this action and a piece of this economy. The founder of sandwich chain Panera Bread actually put it this way to the New Yorker, quote, "Trump is a human hand grenade to blow up a society that isn't working for big swaths of America." Joining me now, Reagan's economic advisor, Art Laffer, co-author of the book Trumponomics. Art, I got to tell you something. The data is overwhelming, and what I love about the data is it's suggesting that Americans who were left out, Americans who had given up, Americans caught in the woes, in the throes of drug addiction and those kind of things are coming to life. Last Wednesday, the Michigan Sentiment Report, lower one-third of income Americans, their optimism up more than 10 percentage points. This is attributed to President Trump, isn't it?
It is. I mean, these policies are amazing, and they've been working. And, you know, the tax cut by itself is fantastic. It's the best first-term tax cut ever, and maybe the best ever. And then you see Powell, he's doing a great job on monetary policy, I believe, raising interest rates to a more equilibrium level. And then deregulation, Charles, I mean, that's fantastic what he's doing. I mean, we still have some other stuff to do. Trade is a work in progress, and I hope they get something done in the Argentina. But the one that's not been handled and that we all know has not been handled is government spending. Government spending is out of control and has to be brought under control. But the economy is doing very well, and I believe it's virtually 100% due to Donald Trump. And you can see in today's Wall Street Journal, Andy Puzder's piece, which compares Obama with Trump. And Trump is just way better than Obama in these things.
You know, and even the mainstream media is coming around in their own way. So they give the credit, but then they give the backhand. Here, give you a headline, for instance, from today from Reuters. Trump is right. Jobs for black Americans abound. Here's why it may not last. So they acknowledge the facts, and then they toss out the probabilities and possibles. But here's the thing, Art. What I'm seeing, the evidence is amazing. The gap between black unemployment and white unemployment narrowed to the lowest point ever. The gap between black employment to population ratio and white employment to population ratio, it's narrowed to its lowest point ever. I mean, any other president, and we would be hearing about this every day.
You know, what I would love to have you have said, though, is the gap has been narrowed. But not only has the gap been narrowed, both are coming down. In other words, the higher unemployment rate is dropping faster than the lower unemployment rate is dropping, and it's really the right way. You can have the gap closed by both rising. That's the equality argument that these people on the left always want to put forward. But the thing that's neat is all unemployment's falling, and the places where it's the highest is falling the fastest, which is just what we all dream of, to make the poor richer, not to make the rich more poor.
That's a fantastic point, Art. Now, President Trump, listen, he's you know, you mentioned earlier the G20 and some of the other things he's doing. He's really fighting a fight that no one wanted to fight for a very long time, in part because it could be a political hand grenade, and that's messing with trade, messing with the status quo. But he sees it as a long-term fight, the same way I guess people are saying China sees it. I know you're not a fan of it, but you know, to a degree, are you happy with what you've seen coming out of the USMCA and possibly a better deal with China?
You know, I've talked with Trump on this issue several times personally, and, you know, I understand exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a freer trade world, Charles, and to do that, he's got to threaten them with tariffs. I don't like the threatening of tariffs. I don't like it, but I'm not a strategist. If he gets lower tariffs, lower trade barriers around the world, I'm 100% on his side, period. And I think that's exactly what he's trying to do. And he's made it very clear to me and to the others that that's exactly what he's trying to do. And I couldn't be happier with Trump's policies so far. Just we need to get spending under control. And I hope he holds out on spending and doesn't let him spend a fortune again. We need spending control.
And to your point, you know, Reaganomics and Trumponomics working. I mean, we're pulling in big-time money into the Treasury, but if they spend more than they take in, then it's a moot point anyway, to your point. So talks on both houses there. Art,
Isn't it fun, though, watching this thing evolve? And it's just like I'd hoped it would be. I mean, I couldn't have imagined a better economy than's happening. Now, the future is always uncertain. The past is pretty clear. But I'm really pleased with the projections, the policy path we're on.
So am I, and I think a lot of Americans who never thought they'd get a piece of the action are happy as well. Art, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Charles. Thank you.